All right, so I would say let's move on to the sequel of Lawnmower Man. Now we're gonna do like I guess I'm just gonna name it as a softer requel, if you will, because it's technically Lawnmower Man 3, but we're taking out the.
Yeah.
Netzero is gonna come back and cause some havoc. Not necessarily that in the pitch. It's just cool to have Netzero come back in the public eye for our podcast. You know,
Sure.
Anybody remember those CDs? How about 10 hours of fucking internet time you would get or something?
Yeah. I think at some point people would use them to like hang from their rearview mirrors or whatever.
If we were gonna live stream like we're doing right now with Netzero, we'd have probably like 2 minutes of like fucking time because it just eat up all the megabits or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. We'd spend most of the time installing it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably what it would have to be. Like we would all have to install a CD prior to fucking
install Quest. I like it.
So, Roland, you had mentioned that you have seen the sequel, which is you Beyond Cyberspace. I also have seen that as well. Daniel, you have not.
I have not, and so evidently, what I'm gonna do. I'm going to suspend what I thought would be the plot for Lawnmower 2 Man, Lawnmower Man 2, because evidently when I pitched it to you, Ray, you're like, oh yeah, that's kind of like what the second movie is. And I'm like, oh shit. So I'm going to play off you guys, and we'll make a perfect movie that way.
Yeah, like off recording time, Daniel had mentioned like his proposal for Lawnmower Man 2, and it basically, I'm going to say about 75% of the pitch was literally the actual movie Lawnmower Man.
And so I was like, God damn it. So as soon as you told me that, dude, I was like, all right, I'm just going to shut the fuck up and then try to build off of y'all's version of Lawnmower Man 2.
It's
clearly
ridiculous.
I'm too accurate to real life.
It's like a bastardization of the Matrix and Blade Runner and I forget what the fuck else kind of silliness. It
is a mixture of like
hard to follow.
It's
and Tron. Christ.
Well, they follow Peter, who's a hacker. And,
right.
The second one, Peter.
They make Peter a hacker.
He's a hacker with a bunch of like other Imagine the movie if you've seen the movie Hackers itself.
Yeah. Yes. Like, no. Okay. So, but
idiots.
When did part 2 come out? Like 94?
It came out 4 years after this one, so it was 96.
96. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's why the previous movie we talked about didn't do very well because they had Lawnmower 2 or Lawnmower Man 2 to work with.
Came out and like wiped everybody out, you know.
Yeah, sorry, multiplicity.
What? No, I don't remember that movie. It's fucking Lawnmower Man 2 was dominated 1996.
But you said they had the same kid. So what was he like a 15-year-old super hacker?
He was like 16 years old in a dystopian like world. But he's like traveling along with like a bunch of other kids that are pretty much they're like orphans, like, and they kind of like go around. He still communicates with Jobe apparently through VR, and initially whenever the virtual reality place got destroyed, part 2 they find Jobe's body, but he's still alive though. But he's just like fucked up, so they have to cut off his legs. And they reconstruct his face, hence why he's a different person, played by a different person.
I see.
Yeah. Okay. So, like, he's pretty much just strapped in the whole movie. So he's communicating via virtual reality. And apparently, like, Peter is, like I said, he's a hacker. So he's pretty much just, he still communicates with Jobe in some way or another. But, like, it's just really strange, though.
Yeah.
And basically, Jobe is trying to do the same thing again, pretty much like take over. Control the world basically, but he's doing it through VR because that's pretty much all he can do now.
Yeah.
But as far as like a part 3 movie, if we were gonna like reboot this movie, sort of like a soft reboot sequel, number 3, like I had a hard time trying to figure out where the direction of this movie. Again, Daniel, you just kind of like guessed the fucking sequel without even knowing about the sequel or just right off the bat. So it just shows you that it wasn't much. You could easily just kind of like piggyback off the first story, and you're pretty much going to make the sequel. So if you're going to go off to part 3, we would have to bring Peter back in some way where he dies, right? Because that's just the way it goes. Jobe is going to kill him. How that happens, I'm not too sure. We would have to have like another group of kids who are immersed in the internet. We do have, if we're gonna do it now, we have.
It's gonna end up like that scene from Upright Citizens Brigade.
Sorry,
He's in the Matrix, and then Jobe's like,
Jobe's really has Peter, and he's fucking. Oh my god, dude. Jobe,
with Jobe's life's pattern of abuse.
yikes.
That so works. That fucking works.
Here's the thing. So if we're gonna like do callbacks to the first one, for instance, whenever Jobe was like gaining his powers and Peter was kind of like in virtual reality, Jobe like trapped him in there and he didn't realize that. So Peter thinks he's still living in the outside world, but really so at the end of
so he's still in the chair.
Yeah.
So at the end of part 3, Peter is, mind you, he's probably like in his like 30s now, but he's still getting fucked by Jobe, who's nothing ever happened to. A la Upright Citizens.
It just becomes like human centipede.
He doesn't have his legs. They did cut those off, and so it's just like this almost paraplegic fucking
amputee erotica, baby.
Wow, this took like a really fucked up turn as far as
Hollywood. We're calling. That's
For the better. You're welcome. You're welcome. Where were we?
We'll write some fucking budget shit for you, man.
Well, I tell you right now, we already just thought of the ending to Lawnmower Man Netzero Returns, because apparently Peter in his adult life is getting fucked by Jobe
for there's like 25 fucking years.
And you know, Jobe was trying to be nice, but you know what? At some point or another, probably Peter realizes he's like in a simulated world, simulated reality. So he's trying to break free, but then he comes to the horror that Jobe is
right. He's flashing in and out of having a really chafed ass and like.
Well, just think of like if you've seen the new Matrix, like where they start to realize, well, something's like amiss, you know, and.
Oh right, yeah, he's the day.
So he's basically coming to the realization that his actual life is not real, and maybe there's some kind of glitches in the Matrix kind of thing.
Sorry, Wachowski sisters, I'm not interested in your film.
No,
it's not good.
But no, it's
nah. You told us it was shit, but I was
like,
damn,
it was terrible. So, but anyways,
interesting. But it was that they made that movie was made out of hate. Yeah,
maybe we got to get some new people, new blood to come in and save Peter from Jobe's.
So you have like almost like a meta game going on where you've got like
Jobe's
the
world.
Dudes are in VR trying to tell Peter that he's trapped in VR,
and Jobe is still an enemy, and you shouldn't trust Jobe because he still talks to Jobe via VR or something.
Yeah,
but then like the big reveal at the end is the whole Jobe, packing Peter, and the other people got to come in and save him, get him out of there, and finally get rid of Jobe for good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, like this turned into like a really dark fucking movie. But I'm pretty sure we can throw in some explosions, action, adventure chase scenes and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, do the Bay effects and we're good. And then we'll throw in some of the fucking, super, hard to see light things what is that one what is that?
The Truman Show?
The J.J. Abrams shots with like the sunlight,
the glare and shit.
with an explosion going off, and then we cover our bases.
Yeah, make sure we do like a
lens flare,
quick cuts where you really can't see what's going on. It's kind of disorienting,
Well, and then the movie needs to be out of order so we can Quentin Tarantino it.
Exactly, yeah. Well, that's where we have to go call back to the first one, and then we like de-age Peter, and like just put him in all these like weird scenarios. Maybe we get the guy who played Jeff Fahey, get him to play Jobe again, because maybe Jobe has reconstructed his face in virtual reality, and it looks exactly like the original Lawnmower Man. And maybe we can get Pierce Brosnan to make an appearance, guest
He
appearance.
just comes in and throws up. Like he's the one that finds, like, he tracks down Peter's, like, I haven't heard from Peter in years, and tracks him down and just like vomits when he like finds what's going on.
And that's it. We get a cut. Like probably Jobe kills him after that shit. He like gets interrupted, sees him, and he's like, "No, Jobe," and then fucking like,
Get another Michael Bay explosion, and then you cut into the J.J. Abrams, next day with the light coming through to blind you. Yeah, that lens flare. Yeah.
I mean, this sounds like as successful as Lawnmower Man 2. So I think we can get this done.
I mean, yeah.
You might have to go on Shudder, but we got this.
Yeah.
The first movie itself was fairly successful. It only had a budget of 10 million, and I can see where the effects went on that. But they made 32.1 million back, so I think that's why it was a successful movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in that case, we can go. Well, we just got done with our sequel. Is there anything you want to add to like tail end, maybe after the credits?
I mean,
no, but I love the idea of Dr. Angelo coming in and just vomiting at the end of it.
And then
That'd be
Jobe kills
fucking
him, right?
hilarious.
He's got like a minute or two on screen.
Yeah, no, then Jobe ices him. Yes, that's how that plays out. And you bring in like a bearded fucking Pierce Brosnan, just like haggard looking, he's been just on the hunt for like the last 20 years to find what happened to Peter. So you got vomit in the beard and just little chunks of yesterday's lunch. Just